Good afternoon or good morning. Come on, I need a response. Way! Very warm welcome to all of you and excellencies, distinguished ambassadors. They are right here. And we are delighted to have so many people here. I'm going to invite all of the fellows to come up to the podium. We have an exciting program here. Please come up. Hi there. I'd like to pick up something what Francine Lefranc said earlier, that there is this apathy, if you like, amongst my species. They just don't get it. We really need to think of the 51% of the population, and we failed. Wendy is actually changing the dynamics, moving the needle to try and encourage women to be part of the equation. The Sustainable Development Goals, which is a huge agenda for the United Nations, cannot and will not be achieved without the participation of women in this room and women around the world. So you should give yourselves a huge round of applause for being here, for supporting innovation and entrepreneurship. And of course, we thank Wendy for bringing us all together.
Hello.
So we have a great program lineup. We have amazing people. And I think the best way to start that discussion is to invite each one of them to share what they're doing. Hopefully it'll inspire you and get you to do more and maybe even partner with them. How's that? So let's start with Julia. Julia.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Come on. You have an amazing family business and you are focused on climate change. You're doing great work. Please share with us what you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Wendy. It's an honor to be here. My family comes from the wine industry. My father founded Jackson Family Wines, Kendall Jackson. And in the last 5 years, I've truly become a student of the climate crisis and have become increasingly concerned about our current trajectory as a species. Like Satya was talking about earlier, we've exceeded 415 parts per million in the atmosphere with greenhouse gas emissions that are trapping heat. I just recently lost my home in the wildfire 3 weeks ago. And what's ironic about that is in 2017, it was the wildfires that ravaged and decimated my community and caused $9 billion worth of damage that inspired me to take a sabbatical from my family business in the wine industry and launch a climate solutions platform, bringing together world leaders, investors, policymakers, influencers to all focus on solutions. I really felt inspired by Paul Hawken, an author of the book Drawdown, which is 100 solutions to the climate crisis. And I noticed that there was way too much talk and not enough action. And what I really respect about the United Nations are the ambitious Sustainable Development Goals. But we absolutely are running out of time, and the only thing we need to be doing at the moment is stop talking about the crisis. We need to be getting behind many solutions. So last March we had our first summit, Grounded Summit, and convened for the first time to present solutions. Solutions to thawing permafrost, which a lot of people don't realize is a massive threat. There's 1.8 trillion tons of carbon underneath rapidly thawing permafrost. So we brought someone to speak to their solution to try and keep permafrost cool. We brought renewable energy, ocean acidification solutions. National Geographic presented their Earth Pulse technology, monitoring with satellites. We also had Paul Hawken and Governor Brown open the summit, former president of Iceland, Olafur Grimsson. And we're throwing our next summit this March. hoping to bring together more solutions, to be a movement for solutions and create catalytic change that is necessary to be able to stay under 2 degrees Celsius, which we are on our way towards 4 degrees Celsius. We're heading towards an uninhabitable planet. And although I lost my home, I feel more commitment and dedication to the cause than I did 2 years ago. I have to be honest, I went through a little bit of fear once the wildfires decimated my community. And I feel stronger, I feel more resilient, and I feel more fired up. And the only way to get out of this crisis is through collaboration. And it's going to take the skill set of all women entrepreneurs. So I'm really excited to be here. Women naturally have great leadership skills, compassion, communication, collaboration, and we are conduits. It's really up to us to help reverse this crisis. So I encourage all of you to use those entrepreneurial skills, come together for the sake of a livable planet, because it's really the only hope we have. Thank you.
Wow. Way. I don't know what we can say, Julia. It's amazing. And we're so thrilled that despite all of the challenges you're facing home, you're here to inspire all of us. And by the way, the Assistant Secretary General for UN Environment Program is here with us. And UN Environment Program is doing amazing work to address this challenge. So we need to figure out ways for moving from hot air to cool heads to action. Thank you. So next person I'd like to invite is Denise Albert. Denise is the co-founder of MOMS Mamarazzi Events. Denise, that's a very nice title.
Thank you. Is this on?
Yes.
It is? Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, thank you all. So I went to a Broadway show alone this week. My kids were with their dad, and I was sitting at home trying to figure out what to say to all of you today in just about 4 minutes. And I was struggling a little bit, and so I went on StubHub and decided to take myself out on a date. Now, I've never done anything like that before. As a divorced mom, when my kids are with their dad, I'm usually on a date with family or friends or working. And I just really got excited for my solo city adventure. I've never done anything like that before, but lately I feel like I've been living, I should be living as a free spirit, but as a mom, it's really hard to do that because kids need structure. And as a business owner and entrepreneur, it's really hard to just pick up and go. It reminded me of a time where I wanted to be whisked away to Paris, or it reminded me of a friend who feels really stuck in her job right now. And I know what it feels like to be stuck. This summer, my kids were away at camp, and the thought of going on and living my everyday was really difficult. I had just gotten out of a horrible long-term relationship. Think Anthony Weiner-ish meets an explosive Alec Baldwin. So I decided on a whim to book a one-way ticket to Europe. I couldn't imagine my everyday being going to the gym, getting up, going to work, sitting at my desk, deciding if I was going to meet a friend for dinner or go on a date that night. So I literally just took off for Europe. As a business owner of themoms.com, I love community, I love family, but now also as a cancer survivor and activist, I'm living the way that I am supposed to be living. I'm also often asked as a mom and a working mom, can women do it all? And I'm the one who will tell you that you can, because everyone's all is different. My all on one day is different than my all on another day. So what is my all? I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm an activist, I'm a survivor, I'm a travel enthusiast, and I am an adventure seeker. And now, as a survivor and activist, I am finally able to live the way that I want to live. 4 years ago, at the age of 41, I was diagnosed with early stage but aggressive breast cancer. It was 3 months after a clear mammography, and I found a lump on my left breast that hurt. Now, everyone says that cancer doesn't hurt, but I listened to my body and got checked and went through a very aggressive 2.5-year process. And I thought to myself, if I could find my own breast cancer, then so can everybody else. And so I decided that I couldn't be quiet about it. I had to share my story. And as the founder of the MOMS and Mamarazzi, which is an event and media company for women and moms, and I go on television, I host events where I share my story, whether it be about my kids or life or parenting. How could I ignore something so big in my life? So I decided to share my story. I wrote about it for People.com and then an ongoing series for Good Housekeeping magazine. And something really magical happened with that first piece that I posted. I started to hear from hundreds and thousands of people all across the country sharing their stories, but also really supporting me. And I realized that there was something so meaningful about sharing your story, because you can help other people, form a community. And I realized that social media got me through cancer. And I started speaking about that and talking to other people and sharing my story and helping others. And from that, I say thank you to cancer, because cancer brought me a new passion in my life, which is why I'm here today, sharing my story, listening to all of you, and learning from each other. So what does all of this have to do with that Broadway show? In the last 9 years, I've changed jobs, been divorced, been in and out of a horrible relationship, went through cancer treatment, have since been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, was the subject of a viral video with the TSA for being mistreated, and then worked with them to make sure their messaging and everything that they were doing was right, and raised my 2 boys. So when I went to that Broadway show that night, guess what the best part of the night was? Guess how I felt the most empowered? When I sat down in my seat and that ex was a row in front of me on a date. For the first time in 8 months that we saw each other, sort of. And the best part for me was that I was there alone. So with everything that I've been through, cancer and all of that, I now know for sure that I can do it all. And so can all of you.
Yeah. Denise, I don't know what to say, actually. But by the way, I want you to know that I hope you've downloaded the app for today. You should download. You'll see the amazing resumes of all these dynamic people here, actually. And Denise also was the president and founder of the David Blaine Foundation, or David Blaine Initiative. So she's a magician as well. I think she trained David. Thank you, Denise. And we wish you all the best and much success in what you do.
Thank you.
So next speaker, like all of the rest, do not need any introductions. Next speaker is Jen Stelter. Yes, Jen is another media celebrity. She has, I think, 12.7 million followers on Instagram. And one of the opportunities we have today, you can have a great product, but if you don't package it, it will not sell. So media and communications are key. Form and substance have an equal part to play in this. So I hope you'll take this opportunity to use your network to promote what World Entrepreneurship, Women's Entrepreneurship Day is about, and support Wendy's initiative. So Jen, warm welcome to you. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Jen Salter and I'm a fitness and lifestyle influencer. Years ago, before Instagram blew up and became a now everyday thing for most people, I fell in that category of being lost, not really knowing what to do after high school. Decided to not go to college because I didn't see a point. I don't like partying, I don't drink, and that's what I thought college was for unless you know exactly what you want to do. So I was the only one out of my friend group or where I grew up that decided to take a year off and figure out what I was passionate about and what I did actually love doing. So I was working at a gym, I was babysitting, and then also working at a different front desk of a spa, juggling 3 jobs, just keeping busy, and found that fitness I became very passionate about. And that was because I was working at a gym and hearing everyone's story when I would make their smoothies and just seeing the same faces come every day, gradually like losing weight and just feeling so good about themselves and proud that they made it to the gym every morning at 7:30 a.m. got me really inspired. And one day I decided to work out after work. Didn't love working at the gym, was really stressful. So that one day working out made me feel amazing. I felt like I got an amazing sweat and just felt better. My anxiety went away. And started posting my transformation on Instagram. Now this was weird because 7 years ago, Instagram was not a platform to really share transformation or even fitness in general. It was more of a platform just for your friends or family. And that one day I started posting my transformation, fitness photos, recipes, and motivational quotes. I was connecting with people all around the world. And I found that, wow, I'm not alone. There's people in Australia, there's people in London who I could connect with and help and inspire. So 7 years ago, I decided to keep doing that and never give up. Keep posting my transformation, keep talking to those and helping those who were also going through depression or anxiety or just feeling alone. And fast forward now, 7 years later, fitness is the biggest thing on Instagram. You're able to connect with people around the world. I'm now a co-owner of a few companies, and it's just amazing what, if you have a passion and you stick to it and you don't care what people think, you can really do whatever you want. And yeah, sorry, I didn't prepare a speech, but does anyone have any questions about social media or how to grow a following or anything?
I think that's a good, yes, please.
There we go.
Introduce yourself, please.
Hi. Hi, cutie. Like, how did I grow my following from 0 to... So I found that years ago, if you were to use hashtags or type in fitness on the search bar, you can find other people who are posting fitness, and I would comment on their photos, congratulating them and telling them to keep up their hard work, and then they would comment back, and I would become friends with people. And then all of a sudden, fitness really started trending and taking over Instagram, and that's where there was a bunch of fitness accounts. It wasn't a person, though. It was accounts that were posting other people's photos, and they were reposting a lot of mine. And that's when I was like, wow, I'm inspiring and motivating people to go and work out. Because at the time, the only photos that existed were Victoria's Secret models. That was the only fitness photos you can find. And I'm never going to look like a Victoria's Secret model, so it wasn't the most relatable, but it still inspired me and it motivated me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, talking about hashtags, we have 2 hashtags for you today.
Yeah, guys, hashtag.
WED 2019, that's one hashtag. And the other one, of course, is Wendy Diamond.
Wendy, woohoo! Yeah, Wendy. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. So you notice we are following a theme in terms of the speakers in the process of the lineup. So it's going this way, and we'll continue this way by inviting Noha. Noha, you have an amazing story. You're gathering us, and you also launched Peel Snacks. Yeah. So Peel Snacks links very well with the fitness program.
It does.
So welcome.
It does. Let's work out.
Exactly. Health and wellness. So yeah, I'm Noha Waibsnaider, and the founder of Gathering Us. And I was thinking on my way over, what is the advice that I usually give entrepreneurs? And almost always it's about building community. And we've heard that a bunch today. It's really about investing in your community and enabling your community to support you as well. I learned that both from starting my first business, Peeled Snacks, and from personal experience. With Peeled Snacks in 2004, I was trying to change the world of food before healthy food was a thing, before it was sexy, or investors wanted to invest in it, before there were accelerators and incubators and the whole industry to build it. And so I really had to rely on my community. When I went out to fundraise, never mind the 2% of funding that goes to women, but in food at the time, there were no early stage investors. So it was all about my friends and family and their friends and family and so on and so forth. It was definitely a slog, but over time, I was able to raise $20 million and grew the business pretty significantly and brought healthy snacks to millions of people. And I feel very proud to have been part of a pioneering group of companies that have now really changed how we eat in America. So my community was such a big part of that. The second way in which I learned about community was in my personal experience with my family. And over the last 15 years, we have had a lot of death in our family. And that is a really difficult time, which requires not only a lot of work internally, but really the only way we were able to not just bear it, but really heal and move forward from it was through the support that we received from our friends and family. So when I exited Peeled Snacks a couple of years ago and started thinking about my next business, I knew I wanted to create something that would help people during that time. So just about 11 months ago, I launched Gathering Us with our mission is to bring communities together to support each other after the loss of a loved one and to celebrate their life. And in just 11 months, we've had over 250,000 visitors to the platform because people want to be there for each other. They want to be supportive. They're not necessarily sure how to do it or what to do. And so we enable them to come together on our site by creating a memorial, sharing photos and stories and memories, being there for each other through donations, whether it's for funeral expenses or to support the family or to even create a college fund for the kids or to make a donation in honor of the person who died to a favorite charity or a cause that they cared about, and also to send care packages to each other, to be there, to be supportive, to send gifts. It's been amazing. We've seen over $250,000 donated on the platform in just 11 months, which just shows that people really, they want to be there, they want to be supportive, and when we are able to create a space for all of that to happen, they show up and they lean into that. So today I want to leave you with a message about using the power of community, leveraging that to support each other, to support other entrepreneurs, and to remember that they want to be a part of that story. They want to be a part of your success. I'll say one other story related to that, which is just a few weeks ago, I saw a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a while, and he said to me, "Why didn't you ever ask me to invest for Peeled Snacks?" And I was reminded, you can bet I asked everyone I came across to invest in Peeled Snacks at the time because it was hard. But I was reminded about how asking someone to help you when you are building a company is giving them the opportunity to be part of your story and part of your success and to be able to help you through that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Noah, for creating these caring communities. So important in today's life, actually. And talking about caring, the next speaker has focused her entire life helping address health challenges, creating new solutions. And we're delighted to welcome Christine Albert. Christine, warm welcome. And I know the latest fund is now almost there to raise $100 million in new funding. So
we're on our way.
On our way, yes.
Yes.
Welcome.
So, thank you, Wendy, for having me. I'm honored to be here and humbled as well with all of the amazing women in this room. The last panel resonated with me in a very significant way for many reasons. I was part of the 8% of women who are female venture capitalists. I'm probably part of a much, much smaller group right now, which is female GPs who have gone out on their own to start their own firms. I started my career at Roche, which is a very large pharmaceutical company, and then I worked at multiple other large pharmaceutical companies and then built many healthcare startups. I would say that I never felt that being a woman got in the way of me doing my job. I always had opportunities. I would say starting my own firm as a woman, it's a roadblock. Men are used to giving money to men. That's who they pass the hat to. I think right now there's some sex appeal for men to say they're supporting women. Not so much. We really have to look at who says they're doing that and who is actually really doing it. I guarantee you there's a big discrepancy there. So I feel a tremendous roadblock. Will I let that get in my way? Absolutely not. I have a 17-year-old daughter. The only way we change this industry is if we move forward, regardless of the obstacles. And I have so many stories I could share with you. I just found out this morning that a major, prominent private equity executive who told me, I am looking to do well and to do good. I understand the discrepancies. I want to support women, is passing. But he just invested a ton of money in a male who has zero experience and no track record at all. So that was a little discouraging. But again, you don't let it get in your way. You kind of go around your roadblocks, and that's what I'm going to do. And so you have to celebrate the successes. Successes include your first close, investing in a few companies. You have to celebrate little successes along the way, and you have to look for the people who will be your champions. We talk about mentors. Mentors are amazing, but we need champions. We need people who will go out there and who will say, I believe in Christine. I believe in what she's building. And by the way, I do have several men who fall into that category and who've done that. And so I would like to celebrate them along the way, and I can't wait to once I'm actually allowed to talk more about my fund. So I do early stage investing at the intersection of life science and tech. Female technology is an area that's ripe for innovation. It has not gotten capital because it's primarily focused on women, and men don't get it. And the truth of the matter is, I'm doing an investment right now. It's solving a big problem in the contraception market. It's a game changer, disruptive technology, a female entrepreneur. But when I talk to men about it, I say it has high margins, recurring revenue, and this company is going to get bought in 2 years because that's what they understand. So I guess, I don't know if I have any advice. I would just say stay strong, stay resilient. I come from a family where my mother raised 5 kids on her own. We all went to state school because that's what we had in front of us. Everyone I've worked with has either an MBA or MD or PhD from Yale, Stanford, or Harvard. Just stay focused on where you're headed. Celebrate small successes. Find champions. And all of us have to support women. So any woman that shows up, even if it's not in your area of expertise, if there's anything that you can do to help them, just help them. Thank you.
That's a very good message. Any woman who comes to your door, you help them. And Christine, I have to agree with you that, as I said before, our species don't get it, actually. So we need to change that. And today, hopefully, will be the start of that process, actually. And I want to invite men to raise their hands who can say, I'm ready to support equality. How's that? Yeah. I'd like you to know something that in the Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 5 is about gender equality. Now, we should be in a situation where there should not be any goal 5. We should not be seeking women's equality. It should exist. And that should be our ultimate goal. Actually. And talking about gender equality, the next speaker is also equally inspiring. She's a board member of Women Moving Millions. She's a producer, and she's done amazing work to mobilize and support women. And that's Yana Shea. Yana, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here today. I don't really make talks very often, so I have my little cheat sheet. Among so many fellow feminists and friends, thank you to Wendy for the invitation to speak, and really for the privilege of being here to witness what women can achieve when we collectively work together. Growing up, I had a deep dissatisfaction with the career path that I thought I was limited to. And I had a very difficult time reconciling that my future would be determined by what was assumed to be the only options for women at the time. I am dating myself, but I'm a lot older than a lot of you. But back then, I was told I could be a secretary, a nurse, a teacher, a dental hygienist, maybe, a stewardess. And of course, all of these paths are good and valid ones, but even as a young girl, I couldn't understand why my expected path was so limited and narrow. My best friend, Robin, and I used to ride her tandem bicycle back and forth between our houses, kind of with a bit of a woe is me, and daydream about becoming independently wealthy so we could do whatever service projects we found interesting to make the world a better place. After all, we were Girl Scouts, and we took our responsibility to do good in the world very seriously. It was only after I had helped start several companies that I realized that the job that we had always imagined was really that of an entrepreneur, and that I should use my own talents to work toward limitless possibility and potential for growth for both myself and others. After spending 12 years in the corporate world at Southern New England Telephone and 20 more at home raising my kids, I was looking for a job that was going to be more to me than a paycheck. I hooked up with a local women's fund in New Haven, and to my surprise learned that I loved fundraising. It came naturally to me because it's a job where you share your passion, and if it's a match that fulfills the passion of someone else, then bingo, you've raised the money and you're on to your next donor or investor. These skills allowed me to found Seaview Productions with my partner Greg Noble, who's here with me today, and my Seaview friends, to explore changes on how theater is made for Broadway. We found that we were both interested in bringing more brand new plays and musicals to the stage. Seaview is making theater that looks more like the America that we live in today. We are attracted to producing work that brings a unique perspective to the stage, such as Tony Award-winning musical Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. We did Seawall this summer with Jake Gyllenhaal, and we have a play currently running called Slave Play. We plan to champion, thank you, we plan to champion work continually that raises up women and puts new faces and stories on stage. We're taking bold steps to make Broadway more accessible by supporting some new philanthropic ticketing initiatives that we've done with our show Slave Play that will grow and foster new audiences. We're pushing for these changes by raising theater investment money differently. We're launching our own fund called the Imagine Equal Theater Fund that will increase the likelihood of an investor's chance of making a profit and allow for commercial endeavors and art not only to coexist, but to thrive. Another problem in life that led me to a new business is trying to find new methods to help people that suffer from opioid and alcohol addiction. I happen to be in recovery for 38 years today, November 15th, 2019. So I am lucky to be here celebrating that fact that I've been blessed with sobriety for that long with all of you today. So it led me to thinking, and with a partner of mine, that today's brick and mortar rehab centers have an even worse track record of success than Broadway. Less than 20% of those leaving a rehab this month will be sober a year from now. Our startup company, Aware Recovery Care, is the first in-home medical model for care for addiction. My partner, Steve, had a brainstorm one day to adapt the model of visiting nurses who deliver service and to people in their homes, and we would deliver service to the addict in the place that they live. After being locked away for a 30-day program, many people just can't seem to stay sober without more ongoing care. We supply a counselor and a full medical team that follows your case for an entire year for the very same price as a 1-month residential rehab, which runs right now to about $40,000. Our success rates have been over 60% of our clients are still sober a year after starting our program. So we're spreading to a few more states, and other insurance companies are signing on. All I want to say is entrepreneurship is, to me, about identifying a problem, finding the right team to execute a solution, and then over-delivering on your promise to your investors. I intend to keep on doing that with these companies until it's time to solve another problem. Please, all of you superwomen in the audience, go out fearlessly and solve the world's problems, okay? We're sitting here at the UN where people that work here try to do that every day. Congratulations to all the honorees, and thank you for including my story in this inspiring tapestry that celebrates all of our strength and hope for the future. Thanks.
Thank you. And thank you, Jana, for mentioning the UN. I want to give you a statistic about the UN. When Secretary General Antonio Guterres came into power, he insisted that he must have at least 50% senior women in the organization. And he has succeeded and exceeded that number. So really, he came in with the idea that enough is enough. If you need to recommend a candidate to me, I need you to tell me why I should not have a woman candidate. So he changed the tables on the UN. So it's just huge credit to him. We've kept the best for the last. Yes, Akira is unbelievable. She's a dancer. She's been at it since she's about 8 years of age, and so I hope you do a little dance routine while you're here.
Let's go.
Warm welcome to you, Akira Armstrong.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So, you guys are probably like, why is she the only one up there looking colorful and out of place? But we're going to perform in a few. But first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to Wendy Diamond for even acknowledging Pretty Big Movement and having us here today. Thank you. Thank you also to the United Nations. I also want to thank my Pretty Big members who are here with me now and past members who are no longer here with us. I'm here at the United Nations. Would have never thought that I would even be on a panel of such prestige women in business. Pretty Big Movement is a plus-size, full-figure dance company that I have started 11 years ago. Thank you. And it started with vision. So as a child, I started dancing at the age of 8, and I've always been chubby. Rejection, low self-esteem, not being accepted. But with all that, with all the trials and tribulations that I've been through, my mom, who's such a supporter of what I do, always said, dream big. Don't stop living out your dream. Do what you want to do. So within that she instilled in me, I took it and I ran with it. So in high school, I used to get, oh, you're pretty for a big girl. What does that mean? I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Okay? So I took that negative and I made it a positive, which is why we are called Pretty Big Movement. Yes? And although sometimes the journey is not always pretty, because doing this movement with 11 years on my back, it has been a lot of ups and downs and highlights. My first professional job was with Beyonce. I did 2 music videos with her. Thank you. Did 2 music videos with her, and in that, I thought I was on top of the world. I was like, oh, I'm going to get the next job and the next job and the next job. And no jobs came. And then I would go on auditions to different agencies, and they would say, oh, she's good, but she's not good enough. Oh, I am enough. I am enough, and so is everybody in this room is enough to do whatever it is that you want to do. So once again, I took a negative and made it a positive. And I said, I know there's other plus-size women out there that are just like me that has the same plight, but just doesn't have a platform to showcase who they are and what they have to offer to the world. So I didn't want to make this about me. This is about for every woman that's in the room. No, you do not have to be plus size to be considered pretty big. You are pretty big within. It's about how you feel about yourself when you wake up in the morning. How do you feel? Do you feel good? This woman standing right next to me says she beat breast cancer. That's a lot in itself. So with all that, I say thank you again for having us here. And then in about 2.5 seconds, you're going to see Pretty Big Movement grace the stage. Okay? So get ready, Pretty Big Movement. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are a great speaker.
Oh, really quick, I'm sorry.
Please.
Everyone has a cell phone, right, in here? Go on Instagram, Facebook, and follow Pretty Big Movement.
Yeah. So, I think we've got the Magnificent Seven leaving the stage. So, big round of applause for all of them. Thank you. Thank you. I believe we will have a little break for lunch and then reconvene. Thank you.
She'll hit you.
Huh? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Oh, some of y'all are leaving. Y'all about to miss the action, but that's okay. It'll be filmed. Pretty Big Movement. Are you ready, ladies? Let's go.
up, cool 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 up. Do it, 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 do it. Get it, 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 get it. Missy in this doing you ain't never seen. Missy in this doing you ain't never seen. Get it, 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 get it.